Hey, it's Sri here, and in today's video I'm going to talk you through one important mindset shift that you need to be making when it comes to working on your marriage and really taking your marriage from a place where it's not where you want it to be to a beautiful, loving, happy, joyful marriage. Now before we dive in, I just want to let you know that, if you're watching this video and you're going through a really tough time in your marriage, my heart goes out to you, and I want to also let you know that you're not alone. I work with women every single day who are going through challenges in their marriages, and I know the pain that they're going through, and I know you're probably feeling, that level of intensity as well. And so if you are struggling and you're having a really, really difficult time and not sure what that next step needs to be for you, then I'd love to be of service to you and see if I can help in any particular way. So if you are needing some support and some guidance, then all you need to do is just in the description section below, just click on that link where it says book a call with me. Just choose a time that works for you, and then I'll call you at that scheduled time, and we can just have a little bit of a chat to see where you are now, where you want to get to, and if I can help you bridge that gap as well. And make sure you hit that subscribe button below so that every week you get access to my latest videos, teach you specifically about how to save your marriage, how to heal from infidelity, and also how to learn more about male psychology as well, because it's such an important part of understanding how marriages work and how to maximize the quality of them as you're going through a really, really difficult time. Now, I speak to women every single day when it comes to difficulties in their marriages, and I know a lot of them have beautiful intentions and they want to improve and they want to grow and they want to improve their marriage and so on. But often when it comes down to actually putting in the work and doing the things that they need to do, they hold themselves back. And it all comes down to one point, and that's self-sabotage. Now this may be a point that you may be familiar with, you may not be familiar with. If you're not, self-sabotage is basically when we have a particular goal that we want to accomplish in any area of our lives. We know we want to accomplish it. We may have a desire to and a passion to do that, but we actively or passively find ways to not do the things that we need to do in order to prevent ourselves from accomplishing that goal. Now that can be for a number of reasons. We could sometimes have a fear of failure, so we actually don't end up doing anything, and that way if we don't do it then we haven't failed because we haven't attempted it. It can also be a fear of success, because if we get there then what are the consequences if we succeed at that. But it can also be just this underlying belief of I'm not good enough and I don't think I'm capable of it. And so once again we may have this desire on a conscious level, but at a subconscious level we prevent ourselves from doing so. And so in a marriage, this happens so often. As I said, I've seen so many women who have really good intentions. They want to save their marriage, but they hold themselves back and they prevent themselves from doing the things that they need to do. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk you through 3 ways in which a lot of the women that I speak to on my initial consults actually go about self-sabotaging in their marriage, and it prevents them from being able to create the shifts and the transformation that they're needing in their marriage in order to move forward and to save their marriage or to heal themselves in the process. And how you can actually go about creating these changes immediately so that you don't go about self-sabotaging if you're working through your difficult times in your marriage. Now the first way that so many people self-sabotage is that they think that their marriage is doomed, that there is no hope, and there's no point in even putting in the work at all. Now, I want to be clear here that not all marriages get saved. That's just the reality of it. And I think when anyone tells you that any marriage can be saved no matter what, I think it's just been a little bit silly. The truth is that you've got 2 people with completely different mindsets and completely different beliefs coming into their lives and creating this third world. And so naturally in that third world, there's going to be some challenges. There's going to be some disagreements, going to be things that don't go so well. But often what happens is because those challenges have stacked one on top of each other, because they've been stacking for so long, after a while, those problems, those challenges on a daily basis, the anger, the resentment, the negativity and so on, become your norm. They become just, everyday life. And because they become your norm, and because you're always in a negative emotional state, it's so difficult to see all the beautiful things that could possibly happen, the things that actually could change, or how amazing life could be if you actually did the work and showed up and did the things that you needed to do in order to create the shifts that you need to in your marriage. And so when people go in there with that belief of there's no hope, you're basically guaranteed that the marriage won't work because you've pretty much given up. Now, the reason why that's self-sabotage, because often people in this situation are still hunting around for the answer. They're reading blogs, they're watching videos, and so on. So there's still a part of them that has a desire, that wants to see if there's maybe some miracle out there, but then they get in the way of their ability to actually move forward and to progress. Now, the thing to really remember here is that when you're actually working on your marriage, you're not just working on the marriage, you're working on you. So regardless of whether the marriage works out or not, the incredible gift that comes with this is that you heal you. You create the shifts in you. You empower you. You become the best version of yourself. You heal some of those deeper wounds inside. And then what happens is, worst case scenario, and the marriage ends, you end up moving forward, and down the line you may potentially attract someone else who is going to be the perfect fit for you. And I see this time and time again with a number of my clients who have been married to narcissists or sociopaths or serial cheaters, and then have healed, recovered, moved on, and then have found a way to actually attract their perfect mate in their life. That's the magic of it. So the first thing you want to remember is, don't give up hope. And that hope is not just about the marriage. The hope is the healing within you. And if you take that approach, I promise you, it is incredible some of the amazing shifts that can occur. Now, the second way that we self-sabotage is by thinking that there's actually nothing wrong with our current circumstances. See, the thing is, there's so many people who are often in just dead marriages, or marriages where there's just no happiness, no joy, you're just roommates, it's just you're coexisting, or even if there's a lot of negativity and a lot of emotional abuse, often people can feel like that's the norm. And I'm here to tell you to really remind yourself that there is actually some wonderful standards of marriages out there. People have some extraordinary marriages. And I want you to remember that, because if you understand that, then you're going to look at your circumstances and apply a level of reality to them, which is the marriage is actually not where you want it to be. Because if it was the way you wanted it, then you wouldn't be looking around on YouTube or Google or whatever to search for answers and potentially how to improve things. It's actually very, very important to actually see things as they are, not worse than they are, but actually as they are. Because if you see it as they are, then you can start putting in the time and the energy into improving things, into bettering the situation. But if we just acknowledge it, it just is what it is, there's nothing we can do about it, but there's a little part of you going, oh, actually I might watch some videos and see what I can do, you're only going to be half-hearted in your effort. And once again, you're going to self-sabotage. You're going to prevent yourself from doing the things that you need to do in order to improve and to grow and to better yourself and to better the marriage as well. So really take the time to do a stock take. Understand, okay, if I was to wave that realistic magic wand, where would I want things to be in the next 6 to 12 months? Where would I want my marriage to be? Has there ever been a time in the past where we were really genuinely happy and then things just started to fizzle out, or we started to incorporate some negative behaviors and so forth into the marriage? If you can really recognize and understand that, then you grasp a little bit more of reality of what's actually going on. And I think when you understand the realities of what's going on, then you can take the necessary actions and the steps, or seek the appropriate help that you need in order to be able to progress and to move forward. So that's another really important point to make in terms of how we self-sabotage. The third way in which I see so many people self-sabotage is that they think they aren't good enough in order to get the results that they want, or that maybe other people can get results but they themselves can't because of their own unique situation, or that they think that their circumstances are a lot worse than everyone else and so on. Once again, I know it's probably hard to hear this, but if we hold on to that belief that we aren't good enough, then our life is going to be a reflection of that. And so even if things potentially start to move forward, what will happen is we will find a way in order to hold ourselves back from making the progress that we need to. And we see this in lots of areas of people's lives. I mean, the studies are proven around people who win the lottery and so forth, what they do, because they don't have a mindset of abundance. They often stumble across millions of dollars, And then what happens is they either fall into massive amounts of depression or they end up losing it all because their mindset doesn't align with the actual money that they've got. And so they find a way to self-sabotage. And it's the same thing in marriages as well. As if you think you're not good enough to have the love that you deserve, or you don't feel like you're enough for your partner, then what's going to happen is your marriage is ultimately going to be a reflection of that. And then there are going to be behaviors that align with that belief that I am not enough. And I am here to tell you that you are enough just as you are. And I always say that, God didn't just pick and choose who was good enough in the world. Every single one of us are good enough as people. We came into this world pure and open and vulnerable, but we learnt fear. We learnt these negative behaviors. But there's always an opportunity to grow. There's always an opportunity to heal. There's always an opportunity to develop. And, I don't think I've had a single client before who hasn't had to deal with that belief of I'm not enough. But the beauty of it, and the thing is that when you recognize that if you can heal that deepest wound inside, every other aspect of your life will completely transform. And that I can promise you. And I can, testify to that myself because of the fact that I have had that belief in the past. I've had to do a lot of work in order to heal it. And when you do that, it's incredible what happens in your life. It's incredible the shifts and the changes that occur. But it all starts from you. And it all starts from really addressing this, honoring it, honoring the fact that it does exist. And when you recognize and you feel like you're not enough, then it's saying, okay, well, I need to do something about that. I need to heal that. And you absolutely can. As I said, I've worked with so many clients who initially told me, I'm not enough. I don't know if I can get the same results as people. I don't think you're able to help me because I don't think that I'm actually able to be helped, and so on. But whenever I've actually worked with them, we've recognized that the same fundamental root causes are still there. They've been able to heal and become the best versions of themselves. And it's so incredible to see a month or 2 months or 6 months or a year later, these incredible transformations that can occur. And you're no different. And I always say, if I can do it, anyone can do it. And it's for that reason that I created my Authentic Relationship System training program, which is an amazing system that I've developed to be able to help my clients not only get the support that they need, but learn some practical strategies and tools that they can begin to apply immediately to actually shift the direction of not only their marriage, but themselves as well. And when you heal from within, when you create that amazing transformation within, I'm telling you, it is unreal the possibilities that can occur in your life. And so if this feels right, if it is something that resonates with you, if you find yourself in patterns of self-sabotage and it's been going on in a number of areas of your life and you're needing to address it and kind of put that to bed, then I'd love to be of service to you as well, because I know how much pain there is. So if you want to learn a little bit more about it, all you need to do is in the description section below, just click on the link which says book a call with me. Just choose a time that works for you, just fill out the short application form, and then I'll contact you at the scheduled time and I'll be able to help you and serve you on your path and on your journey of life. It'll be an absolute privilege to speak to you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you've liked it, make sure you hit the like button below. If you want to get more videos like this, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And also just let me know what your biggest takeaway is from this video as well. Just write your comments below and I'll make sure I respond to every single one. If you want to learn how to save a marriage after a separation, just click this video above. And if you want to learn how to rebuild trust in a marriage, just click on this video above. Thank you so much, and I'll talk to you in the next one.